Welcome to a Fifth of Jack Gaming. It's Friday, so we're going to show you what we have updates going on through the deck. And if you have any ideas of an update, put it down in the comments down below, because we'll try putting that update in the next one. We got one more week for the updates, and then we're going to have the deep dive into the deck itself. So without further ado, let's jump over to Moxfield to be able to show you the cards that we took out and that we put in. Alright, welcome back. This is Call of the Wild, which has Voja as the commander. If you're new coming into it, Voja is our elf ball commander. We get to put +1/+1 counters for each elf that we control. Then we get to draw a card for each wolf that we control. So, and it has to be attacking, of course. But it has monster stats with Vigilance, Trample, and Ward 3. That's a lot of text for a big old 5/5. We normally try working and getting him out early. But some changes that we ended up doing, we added, well, before I say anything about added, we had a Farhaven elf that we ended up taking out because it's basic ramp, it's not forest ramp. We're trying to stay around with forest ramp. And then also Quarian Explorer. We ended up taking out Quarian Explorer because yes, it taps for all the mana that our opponents end up having, but we added something that's going to be more consistent for the deck. What did we end up adding? We added Grand Warlord Rada. That's going to be some more mana that we're going to be able to have, and we're not going to end up losing it after we end up attacking, because all this mana generates when we attack. So if we attack with 5 creatures, we end up getting 5 mana, which is going to go working really good with our Aggravator Assault to be able to get those extra combat phases. And then, obviously, I told you that we took out the Quarian Explorer. We took that out for this Druid of the Enema, because this is the colors that we have, and this is the colors that we want to have. We need red, we need white. We have a bunch of green because this is mainly a green deck. I had a few other options that we're going to end up having. We have a Joiner or Adopt. It's a possible add-in to the deck because it lets our mana tap for any color. And then eventually we got to end up biting the bullet, and we have to pick up this All Will Be One. Is this going to be amazing with how much counters that fly around with this deck? We already have Shalai and Halar, which does the same thing, but that's on the creature. That's on an enchantment. Enchantments are normally harder to kill. With that, we'll slap it right back over to do our final thoughts of what we ended up having. I missed one other change that we ended up doing. We also took out Yava, Nature's Herald. I didn't really get to a point where a flash was going to be a needed thing, which I understand it because we'll be able to flash in Voja to be able to attack, but this is already a 4-drop, so it's kind of already behind the 8-ball because the next turn we're going to end up playing it. Well, I guess it'll be flash either way. But I didn't really find a spot where it's going to need. So we ended up adding this Shields of Valsvel. This is giving us one-time card draw that's going to be added to the deck itself, because it makes all of our creatures into these 0/1 changelings, which ends up becoming a wolf. And it also turns Voja into an elf. So we're going to have best of both worlds. We're going to have elves and wolves and be able to have that peanut butter jelly sandwich as well. Now, since we fixed that, let's swap over to our final thoughts of the deck. So final thoughts with the deck is we didn't have problems with ramp. We didn't have problems with our mana base because we stayed ended up being mainly green. We're dashing in red with forest ramp. So I would like to upgrade that eventually over being a bunch of different forest types that comes over with it, and maybe more fetch lands instead of the Terramorphic Expanses or Evolving Wilds. It seems like that would be a better play that would come along with that. That thing hits like a wall. Our deck ends up running crazy. I could play it at turn 3 and having that go pretty good. I think with a few changes here, it's going to end up trying to push the deck over top of it, and I think that's going to make a nice stellar thing. So what do you think of the deck? Let us know down in the comments down below of something that you would like to add into the deck and something that you want to change. Remind you, this is Elf Ball that ends up being with Voja, because the counters that we end up coming over with it. At some point, we'll bite the bullet and pick up the All Will Be One. Maybe I'll pick it up in a trade or something, and then we'll add that to the deck and have that coming over with her. There's a nice spicy upgrade that came from Thunder Junction that you'll be able to slap in there too. If you want to know what that upgrade is going to be, you have to stay tuned to next week's video. So, if you're liking the content we're putting out, hit that little like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell to be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.